be on this webinar, this workshop. So welcome everybody. Welcome to, hello, everyone's coming in. You can go in the chat and webinar, this workshop. And you can, so welcome everybody. Welcome tell us where you are zooming from in the chat. Say hello. Oh, good. And I want to go ahead and we're going to record on this computer. Beautiful. So welcome everybody as we're coming in. Oh, welcome to the Mindset for Success in Life and Love. How to create the life you desire and have the love that you deserve. I'm very excited to welcome you guys into this workshop with Riana Mill. She is a certified life, love, trauma recovery, and mindset coach. She is an advanced certified clinical trauma professional, a #1 best-selling author of her books, Live and Love Beyond Your Dreams. She has a podcast that she hosts called Lessons in Life and Love. And she is a licensed mental health counselor. She's been that counselor for over 26 years, and she lives in Florida. She's also featured in Forbes, New York Weekly, US Times, USA Wire, Disrupt, Influencer Daily, Women's Journal. She was selected, and many more. She was selected as one of the most successful women, one of the 100 most successful women around the world by the Global Trade Chamber. I love Riana's work. I've known her for many years. She's always so powerful, so passionate about you and all of our transformation in this area. And so I'm very pleased to welcome her to present this beautiful workshop for you guys. And all I'm going to say is enjoy. Take notes, be active in the chat, and I'm very happy. We're both very happy that you're here.
Yes. Thank you, Amy, for that really nice introduction. Hello, everyone. It's nice to have you here with us. And do have a piece of paper and a pen there so you can take great notes. And if you have questions as things come up, I want to be able to answer your questions in the end. We are recording today. But when we put this back out on a replay, you will not be seen. So you might want to turn your cameras off for your own privacy. And then when we have questions at the end, you're welcome to turn them on so we can talk face to face if you'd like. I do have a PowerPoint presentation that will go over a lot of information. I mean, I could talk for hours. I've been doing this work for over 40 years on how to help you recover from childhood trauma, love trauma, and our trauma going on in today's world, right? It's a very scary time for everyone. I was on a wonderful vacation last week on a disco dance cruise. I was having the time of my life with my fiance. And we get off the ship and we hear America's at war. Okay, wow, boom, big switch over from vacation mode to, oh, wow, let's handle this. What's going on? Let's listen to the news and tap into what's happening. So it's hard for us to control our world around us, of course, but we can control our inner world, how we feel about ourselves, and our world that is around us. So our family, our children, our friendships, our love partners, and our relationships, and of course, our success in our careers. So that's what mindset does for us. It gets us away from the fear and the anxiety and the depression of the whole global situation and gets us keenly focused and consciously aware on what we can do and what we can control. And that really is very helpful to help us manage times like this. I want to say to all the ladies in the room, happy International Women's Day. I think that's today and tomorrow. And it's nice that we're doing this for our ladies here, but we have a gentleman in the room, and childhood and love trauma have no prejudice. So everyone is welcome. Art, everyone is welcome. So always, I do work with men, women of all ages, 16 and up, straight and LGBTQ clients, couples, and singles. So this work applies to everyone in the room, whether you're single or in a coupled relationship. So just kind of twist the information towards what your needs are and jot down your questions as we go along, and I'll be answering them at the end. When you stay to the end, you're going to get this incredible ebook that I wrote, The Mindset for Success. And it really is very thorough. I was looking at it again. I had written it a little bit ago, and I'm like, this is really a great ebook. I really go into a lot of valuable information that I won't be able to hit in 1 hour. So you're definitely going to want to get this book. The link will be at the end after Q&A. So please hang in there to make sure you get it. It's very informative and very helpful for people wanting to heal both childhood and love trauma. Okay, so we'll get started with the PowerPoint, and hopefully everything will go smoothly. Zoom has changed all their technology since I gave a class before. So I'm going to switch over to this screen here and turn off the meeting controls, which means I don't see you, but hopefully you still see me and I see the slides and that I am able to advance forward. Okay, so that's how we're going to proceed. Okay, so hopefully, Amy, you'll shout out if you can't see me or the slides. Okay, that would be great. Okay, I see some people are still entering the room. Okay, so here we go. The mindset for success in life and love, but that also means business and in our personal world, creating the life you desire and having the love you deserve. That has always been my slogan in business because I have worked doing mindset since my young 20s. I got into mindset work actually at age 16 when my very best friend was killed by a drunk driver. And I asked my mom if I could go to counseling to handle the grief, a childhood trauma episode, which of course it wasn't named that back then. And she said, none of us will ever go to counseling in our family. So that was not an option for me. So I turned to books, the masters who was writing on spirituality for healing and mindset and how you can take a tragedy and make it into a triumph. And, I just kept reading and absorbing it. So I was very fortunate to learn mindset work in my late teens and by my early 20s. I was teaching at college level. Gannon University in Erie, PA, was teaching adults how to have the mindset for success in business. And I was 22 years old. And by 26, I had a model and talent agency in school that I opened with my first month's rent coming out of a very toxic marriage and a divorce. But I had two beautiful young girls that I was supporting. And there was no time for victimhood. But luckily, by then, I had mindset work to get me through that toxic love relationship and have me focus on business and create a business that I loved. So I started with my first month's rent. Within 6 months, I won Educational Excellence Award at the International Model and Talent Association. And within 1 year, I won Model and Talent School of the Year. So this was started with no loans because my ex got us into a bankruptcy of $750,000. So like when a lot of people meet me, they're like, oh, you must have had an easy life. I'm like, no, I had a lot of childhood trauma, I had love trauma, but my mindset always got me through the hard times. And that's why I think it's so important. When I work with my clients, this is the most important thing that they learn and they practice, and it changes their life in all areas. So it's really an amazing tool when you have it. Now, that's why I'm excited to teach it to you today. So my classes went from 4 students when I opened to 24 on a waiting list within 6 months and internationally known. So it's kind of exciting when that can happen. And now it would be, there we go, slides moved. Yay. Amy, we got them to move. Excellent. Okay, so this is why I want to cover this today. The anxiety is up in our world. A lot of people are coming to me with depression and loneliness. people not wanting to commit to relationships. They're all so high, these three areas today. And mindset and your unhealed trauma affect your success in life, love, and business, and how you feel about yourself. But the success in your world is directly correlated to how you feel about yourself. So, no matter what is going out again in your outside world, your inner world, your mindset can make you still be confident and move through these challenges and still be successful. I'm going to share with you today some simple mindset tools you can start using right away today to feel calmer and stronger, more confident, and hopeful. And I'm going to teach you how you can get 24/7 personalized coaching support so you're never alone on your journey in life and love. And it's from me, but it's from Riana AI. And it's a very exciting thing. I'm the first coach in the world to offer this. I've always loved a great challenge, and I just came out with this for my clients on Valentine's Day. So it's been around for only a couple of weeks. But it's fabulous because I can help people now around the world in any language 24/7. So do stay to the end if you just came into the room for the Mindset for Success book. It's really incredible. It's going to fill in a lot of the gaps of what I'm teaching you today, and it will give you more techniques that you can use that will be helpful for you. Okay. So, why we need a new mindset now? Anxiety and depression symptoms have climbed to about 1 in 5 adults in recent years. And globally, anxiety and depression have increased around 25% or higher in the first year of the pandemic, and the rates have not gone down. People have been like scrambling since COVID, not able to settle their nervous systems or high anxiety. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of shortness with people. You probably notice it, just everyday people have not been so kind. So everybody's hypersensitive these days. In the US, they say over 30% of adults recently reported symptoms of anxiety and depression. So that's 1 in 3. And medication really is just a band-aid. You're not addressing the underlying symptoms with the psychotropic drugs. And their success rate's about 33% anyway. So we always have to address the underlying problems, which is healing your past childhood and love traumas so you're not so emotionally triggered anymore. So there's no doubt people are hurting, they're feeling lost, angry, and just exhausted, and they're all looking for answers. But the good thing is, there is something we can do about it. Mindset has been working for my people for over 40 years, so it's important that you learn it. Does any of this sound like you? Maybe if it does, you can put it in the chat, where you have had ongoing or waves of anxiety, worry, or panic that you just can't seem to turn off. You're in like that hyper anxious mode, or bouts of depression that you can't seem to get out of, hopelessness that makes it hard to feel motivated or reach your goals and dreams. Your head is spinning with so many other things that you can't seem to settle into a calm focus so that you can reach your goals and dreams. You might be worried about job security or money, a relationship, or your future. Might have the fears of being alone, or have frustration or confusion in love and dating. I call it single world. It's not that easy to navigate, but there's definitely things that you need to know to do, which is what I do for all my coaching clients so that they go out empowered and they know exactly the do's and the don'ts of dating. So knowledge is power. And when you feel great about yourself, you're not going to settle for less. You're only going to choose a person that is your right partner. And you may be successful in the world, but inside you might feel exhausted or insecure or not enough. You want to be seen and loved for you, the real you, the authentic you. I mean, I think of all the people who want to be influencers out there. It's like, why? Because they want love and attention, right? And they often say, I just want someone who loves me for myself. It was great on the disco cruise I was in, which was the top Motown acts and disco acts from the 70s. I was meeting singers and players from War, Sister Sledge, the Commodores, and having real great chats with them. And they're so appreciative at this stage for their fans still being there. Even Marlon Jackson of the Jackson Five performed, and he's there. I just wanted to be loved. We just want to be loved for us, just who we are as people, and it just got out of control. And we're like, why does everybody think we're just this big thing when it's just us? They want to be loved just for themselves. So if you felt any of those things and said yes to that, there is hope and help, of course. That's why I love that cruise. It's so fun. Okay, let me see here. Trying to advance. Here we go. So, who is this for? Anyone feeling stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, experiencing bouts of depression or burnout? Again, worried about job loss, finances, big life changes. You might have just experienced a big move or a breakup or a divorce, worrying, how do I move on? Or you might have health challenges that are new for you. Singles that are tired of toxic dating patterns and feel they can't find the one. Um, Definitely, again, there is strategies for that. Couples who love each other but feel disconnected, stuck in their relationships and unfulfilled. I teach couples to have what we call conscious, empowered, loving communication so that you talk through your problems. You're never yelling or screaming at one another, and you're working as a team to move forward to reach the goals and the dreams that you each have individually and that you have as a couple. So there's definitely ways to do that and become even better best friends than you were for years. And anyone who wants to think more positively and feel happy, confident, and loved, you want to really love your life. Now, if you're really struggling and you're in the workshop today, I want you to write down the number 988 in the US. That's the emergency helpline, crisis helpline. When you learn about my 24/7 avatar service, it is not a mental health avatar. It is supportive coaching from my training of over 40 years. It's trained into my avatar. So you are getting my information. However, it's not a mental health service. So you should have the emergency number. You always do deserve to feel safe and cared for and to feel love and have a great loving relationship. For women, especially, the number one thing we need is safety. Okay, we need to always feel safe to feel loved. And that's why relationships struggle because many times as children, we didn't have that safety growing up. Our parents might have been absent, or we were rejected, or, we were anxious attachments. So it's all correlated. What is really going on beneath the surface of these feelings? Well, our childhood experiences and our past love relationships shape how we think, feel, and love both ourselves and other people. Unhealed childhood and love trauma can lead to choosing unhealthy partners over and over again, which is a very frustrating cycle. We call that RRS, relationship repetition syndrome. And that can show up in two ways. One, you're with one person, you know consciously it's not a healthy relationship, so you break up. And the cycle is about 7 to 10 days later, you start talking again. It's like one of you or both promise to change. All the promises come in, flowers are bought, and then you get back together. And that cycle is an average of 7 times. Break up, get back together, break up, get back together. The brain likes what is familiar. That's from the amygdala area of the brain. So it's bringing you back to the chemistry of what you had. And unfortunately, that doesn't mean your childhood chemistry and that correlation is emotionally healthy. It's not. If your conscious mind knew you broke up because this relationship's not healthy, you need that inner love, strength, and confidence to move forward. And many people are stuck in RRS. Or you choose the same person but with a different face. That's the second pattern of RRS. So you break up with someone, you know it wasn't healthy, you read 100 self-help books, you go back out, and what happens? You pick up someone with the same patterns again. And it's a very frustrating cycle. But again, your brain is wired to find your norms from childhood. So if there was a lot of cheap drama in your childhood, you may be attracted to someone that is in love bombing you and this romance and all this fireworks. That's a lot of drama in the beginning. But that usually means that's a lot of unhealthiness that's going to come after the sweet spot, which is the 90-day rule. 90 days, everybody's usually in a great relationship. After that, when things get a little closer, so whether there's going steady, getting engaged, moving in together, married, having a child, this is when these triggers start showing up and the red flags start showing up. So when there's childhood trauma, a lot of times in a relationship, this comes from children people pleasing or over giving to a difficult parent. So, for example, if you had an alcoholic father who was difficult, and you're the little girl in the house, and you don't want him to yell and scream at anyone. You're the oldest sibling, so you're always pleasing or overgiving and overdoing to make sure the other kids are okay. You're going to bring that pattern into your love relationships. So that can lead to codependency or being too needy, or often just settling in love with someone who's difficult. It's like your pattern is that you remember that. So it's familiar and that's chemistry for you. So unfortunately, that may keep occurring. And a lot of people, women, are wait to be chosen by someone versus us being the chooser. And when you are more empowered and confident and evolved in your life, you choose your love partner. You don't just wait to be chosen. You know yes or no who you're choosing and exactly why or why not. And if you want more information on that, my number one best-selling book, I didn't even put it in here, but is Love Beyond Your Dreams, Break Free of Toxic Relationships to Have the Love You Deserve. And it's fabulous. It's from all this research that I did on childhood and love relationship trauma, how one leads right into the other. So if there's any fear of abandonment or rejection in your adult love relationships, codependency on your partner, or if you're younger and you're still living with your parent and you're afraid to move forward, these all come from childhood trauma. High anxiety, low self-worth, underlying depression, the loss of yourself. A lot of people come to me for coaching when they're like, I lost who I was. I used to be so fun and vibrant and outgoing, and now I'm sad and depressed and feel like I can't do anything. That is loss of self. So we work together to say, what dreams do you have? What life do you want to create? Let's get that going. So we work together step by step, heal the trauma first, work on the goals and dreams, then get you out to date or heal the relationship that you're in. It's a step by step process. So the good news is when we change our mindset and heal our past childhood and love trauma, we change everything in our life. Our careers improve. So many people I worked with got huge bonuses, promotions, made more money, or switched to the job that they always wanted when they were working with me because their confidence went up so high that they're like, yep, I'm doing it. And so many other people who have dreams and goals won't do it because they're stuck in the fear and the doubt. But they get over that and they go for their dreams and they're flying. They're doing great. Our relationships, or if you're dating, attracting the person that you really want in your life, and then how we feel about ourselves and in life in general. It's all interrelated. So, who am I to teach this? I know Amy gave some of the introduction, but just so you know, I've been teaching the Mindset for Success for over 40 years, since my 20s. Um, and one of the first examples I had of teaching this was when I had a model and talent agency at age 26. And I was coming out of the difficult divorce and a bankruptcy of $750,000 to my first husband. And we had two little girls, and he stole over $200,000 from my mother. So not only did I have a bankruptcy, I had a loan over my head that I had to pay and two little girls to support. So I had no time to get into the dark side of victim mode. that just was not going to be happening. So I couldn't get a bank loan. I opened my model and talent school and agency with the first month's rent, had 4 students. And then, as I said earlier, within a year, I got the International Model and Talent School of the Year award. And I was teaching mindset to the models because they're from Erie, Pennsylvania, which is a very small blue collar town. I'm from Philly, so I learned modeling schools in a big city and promotional skills and that type of thing. But I taught them that they can go anywhere they want with their career if their mind is not limiting them to this small town mentality. So I was teaching mindset, and here's a great example. Michael was an auto mechanic, and he wanted to be a model. Now, Michael was a little bit beefy, like a bodybuilder, wild blonde hair, blue eyes, big white smile. I'm like, you should be on Baywatch. He goes, oh, I love Baywatch. I want to be on Baywatch. I said, you're more the actor type because you're a little bit too big for fashion modeling, but you're going to learn fashion modeling. But what do you say we teach you the acting? Then he goes out to LA, competes at IMTA convention, and ends up on Baywatch. Okay, there's just one story. Beth was a dancer in Erie. Her dream was to be a rockette in New York. Beth became a rockette. Natalie Rattano ended up on the show VIP with Pamela Anderson. So small town people with big city dreams, it was my job to get them where they wanted to go. So I worked with all kinds of people in the talent industry, models, singers, actors, dancers. And now, as a therapist and coach, I do mindset work to teach people where they want to go with their goals and dreams. So I love what I do. I'm really great at it. I've been doing it a very long time. So 26 years, I've had a private practice as a licensed mental health counselor called Therapy by the Sea and certified addictions counselor as well, all those years. 17 years as a life, love, and relationship transformation coach. And that coaching business is called Lessons in Life and Love Coaching. And then 10 years, I've been certified as an advanced clinical trauma professional. I took on this work because I had found I had two traumatic relationships, and I had to say, why? And there was no research out on this. There was no childhood trauma research out this. I have a triple master's in applied clinical and counseling psychology, graduated in the year 2000 when I opened up my practice. And not once did I hear the term childhood trauma. So when I went back to do all the research to say, I wonder if my childhood experiences are impacting my love choices, I went into deep psychological journals and found out indeed it was. And that's how I started writing Love Beyond Your Dreams. But it's like me speaking to, it's a very easy read. And it was just fascinating to read all the research on this, and I was so excited. It's like people have to know this, And then I created the childhood trauma checklist, which you all can get for free on my website, which is my name, RianaMilne.com, and under quizzes, and also under the quizzes, if you're in a coupled relationship and you're wondering if it's toxic, do the red flag checklist as well. And if you're single and out there dating and not very successful, do the quiz, are you really ready to date? Because that will show you a lot there. You need an 8 or 9 or higher to be really ready to date. So we get our people ready to date and so on. Okay, so 10 years as a CCTP. My books, Live and Love Beyond Your Dreams, are on Amazon and everywhere else, Kindle and Barnes and Noble. And my podcast is called Lessons in Life and Love. And I have 126 shows out there. I've been so busy, it's hard to keep producing shows. But there's a lot out there. You'll learn a lot. And they're all on my YouTube channel or any podcast channel. And I've been internationally recognized by many, many media magazines, which has been really quite an honor for me. Just doing something I love. So my method has been trademarked, research-based, cutting-edge coaching systems and programs. With my mission is to help everyone I work with to create the life they desire and have the love they deserve. So the mindset for success is the grounding piece because I've been teaching it for so long. It is a proven system that helps you move from fear and doubt to personal power, purpose, and success. And that's what the book Live Beyond Your Dreams is about, the mindset. So they actually go together. They're sister books. You can't have great love without the mindset. And once you have the mindset, you want to watch out for toxic love relationships. So they go together. So the system combines positive psychology. It's my job to work with every person to discover and develop your talents and your purpose and your goals in life. And that's what we aim for. Just like with my models, actors, singers, dancers, I've done it with business people who want to grow their business, and so on. I teach the trauma recovery principles and solutions to past emotional pain and the triggers, those little nasty messages in your heads. I can't do it. I'm not good enough. We get rid of all of that. We focus on what we can do and the message and the belief system of I can do it. The spiritual mindset practices to change your belief system and helps you reprogram your beliefs to I'm not good enough or I can't to I am powerful, worthy, and capable. Another good example of teaching mindset is when I work with my clients who have children, I make sure they teach their children this method. And I did not mean for my daughters, Alexi and Stefana, to be science experiments, but I was teaching them mindset for success work since they were born. And I remember Alexi at age 5 sitting in front of the TV and she said, Mom, I'm going to go help those kids in Africa. She was watching the Save the Children commercial. And I said, Babe, that's a beautiful dream. I believe you can do that. That's amazing. Hold on to that dream. That would be such a beautiful thing that you do. And at 15, she turns to me, she goes, Mom, I want to be a singer. Now, she did not have singing lessons up to that point, but she was in modeling in my modeling talent school. And I said, then let's make you a singer. So I put her in singing lessons. And as soon as our minds went to she's going to be a singer, we kept running into record producers. One was Rodney Jerkins of Dark Child of Atlantic City, who picked her out of over 300 people. One was Timberland, a top record producer in New York. One was Ja Rule down in Miami South Beach. I just happened to run into him. So the world aligns spiritually. When you are spiritual and your mindset is there, it just starts aligning. It was crazy. So here by 16, she had 3 offers. I did put her demo kit together. It doesn't happen magically. You still have to do the work. You have to do the step by step towards your goals, which is knowledge and preparation of her talent pack and so forth. But she sings on 3 multi-platinum CDs because she wants to. So it's amazing to see this mindset in work. And not only did I see it with my children and then my actors and models, but also now all my coaching clients that want their goals and dreams in various areas. So it's worked, it's been time tested for years. And she did put in 31 working water wells in Tanzania, Africa, starting at the age of 20. Her charity is called EPIC, Everyday People Initiating Change. Her name's Alexi Panos. So my daughters are amazing, very successful, have amazing love partners. My son-in-laws are like my own sons. And when you grow up with mindset work, you become very successful. So I'm very excited when I have young people, teenagers that I help, rework their whole belief system to make them very successful in their life. And in today's world, mindset is essential for young people. So this is really exciting work. So mindset, here's a lesson I want to teach you. People you live either on the dark side or on the light side of life. About 88% of people live in the dark side. This is where fear-based thinking rules the day. It's old trauma stories running today's choices, your thoughts, your belief systems, and your feelings. There's a lot of catastrophizing or feeling like the victim, a lot of negative fear-based thinking, and self-doubt, like I can't do it, or feeling stuck in a job and you don't change, or in your relationship and you don't do anything about it. This is where anxiety and depression, anger live, frustration, boredom, anything that makes you feel dark or unhappy, rape, murder, anything that's dark and ugly lives in the dark side. Okay. When we're living in the light, this is what my clients and I strive for on a daily basis. We are faith based. We have very empowered and consciously aware thinking. We always think, what can I learn today? How can I grow? What can I change? I love Tony Robbins saying when he says, if you're not growing, you're dying. And when I read that statement years ago in my teens, I pictured a plant growing. And it's right. If it's not growing, it just stops and starts withering away. And that you can see in a lot of people that depression is just there. They're in the dark side, they're stuck. So, in the light side, you're calm, there's problem solving and resiliency through any issues that happen. And you have a very conscious, healthy decisions and in your life and in love relationships. And you absolutely can train your mind to live in consciousness and on the light side of life. So here's a little exercise for you on your piece of paper. Make a little T graph, line down the center and a bar across. On the left side, put dark side, because we always say you're living in the left side. That's the dark side. On the right, you're living in the light. It's kind of like a yin yang symbol. Hopefully, you can see that. That's coming up. The yin yang symbol. Okay. So when you're living in the light, this is where you're proactive. You take action for things. In the dark side, you are reactive. Like, why me? Oh, why does this happen to me all the time? That's reaction. Proaction is, what can I do to fix this problem? And we take action. When you're living in the light, we make conscious choices. We always think before we say, do, act, text, write. Is it good for me and the other person, the other situation? This is conscious choices. On the dark side, it's unconscious. They just act without thinking. I'm sending that text because I'm mad. Then an hour later, it's like, oh, I probably shouldn't have sent that. Well, that's unconscious ruling you. When you're in the light, you're educated with mindset tools. Living in the dark side, you don't know them and you're not using them. Living in the light, you have positive love-based thoughts towards humanity, animals, our earth, people when you meet them. It's like, have you ever seen someone walk into a room with light, and joy and the sense of calm? That's someone who, has those positive love-based thoughts. They just shine. And the on the dark side is negative fear-based thoughts are ruling their life, and they look angry and they have that angry face on them. You can just see it. You see someone with happiness or you see someone with anger just on their facial expressions. And this is why when people are going out in the dating world and they're frustrated and angry, and they might have a tone to their voice as well, they're going to repel someone. But if you're going out confident, like, I'm just here to meet somebody new, really nice to meet you. Tell me about yourself. It's joyful, it's easy, it's playful, it's fun, it's positive, and it's so easy to meet somebody. Some of you may know my story, some may not, but I'm engaged to a wonderful man named Chris. And I've been very busy building my career to go internationally and writing books. And finally, I was going to turn 66 years old. And it's like, it's time for me to find my partner. I said to my good buddy James, because I have a beautiful set of friends, and that was keeping me happy. And I was very conscious I didn't have a time for the relationship at that time. So he goes, just like that, Rihanna, you're going to go out and find someone? I'm like, yeah, I will. So I said, it's August 1st. Let's see how long it takes me. So I go on Match.com. I write up my profile, put up my pictures. Now I have the science and psychology of dating successfully, so I know exactly what to write on the profile. Within 4 days, I got a lot of invitations, but Chris was one of them. And I knew exactly what I was looking for. I'm like, this is a pretty good match. So by the time we talked a little bit back and forth, I know not to spend a lot of time on texting. I would never date anybody out of town. There's dating rules I always follow for myself. And we met August 17th for our first date. We've been engaged and bought a beautiful home and traveling the world. So I created the life I desired and I have the love I deserve. So what I teach, I do. Okay, so it's so easy for me to teach you guys these methods because I've already done them for myself, right? So stay positive if you're single and you can learn exactly what to do. Um, okay, back to the T chart. We ask, what can I do? And we seek answers when we're challenged. An example of this is when COVID came and everybody in America is like, oh my God, we can't do anything for 30 days. We can't go to work. We have to stay home. And everyone's in a panic. My first thought was, oh my gosh, I have a month to get something done because I won't be out on weekends. I'm going to write another two books. So I wrote Anxiety Free Living and Loving, which is over 100 pages, and I wrote Happiness Beyond Your Dreams, which is also over 100 pages. So I got two books done in a month because I thought, what can I do with this extra time I've been given? Okay, that's exactly how our minds work. And the dark side is I can't do it. Victim mentality. It works for everybody else. It won't work for me. You know, that giving up before you even give it a try kind of feeling. And on the light side, we have hope, spiritual faith, and trust. And in the dark side is where anxiety and depression lie. And in the light side, we say yes to ourselves and many opportunities that come our way. We figure it's a gift from the universe when we have a new opportunity. So we rarely say no, but we think it through, do the pros and the cons, but we often say yes. But in the dark side, you say no to opportunities. You feel stuck or you don't feel confident enough to take them on. So, in the light side, we are constantly moving forward into our future, setting goals, realizing our dreams. When we reach one, we go to another one. This is like live beyond your dreams. This is what that means. We make a dream and then we live beyond it. We make another dream. And in the dark side, they're stuck ruminating on their past. What should I have done with my last boyfriend? You know, they broke up a year ago. I want him back. Da 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 da. You know, you're just stuck and you haven't moved forward. So that's a little exercise that I hope you enjoyed and learned something from. Because it's really important to understand the dark side and the light side. So here's a brief summary. When you're on the dark side, it's negative fear-based thinking. It rules your thoughts and behaviors. These types of quotes might come up in your self-talk. Oh, I always mess it up. All the good partners are taken. Nothing works out for me. That's where you feel stuck. You stop growing, and then anxiety and depression set in because you're not growing. You're dying, as Tony Robbins says. And this is old protective belief systems and behavioral norms and programming from your childhood. Not taking those chances keeps you safe, but it also kills your soul. Okay. And it's not your destiny. We're all born to be great people. We're all here for a reason on this earth. It's up to us to discover what is our purpose. How can we give back to the world? And that's something we work on, my clients and I, for them. Living in the light means you have a full, consciously aware mind. You can figure everything out. You ask, what can I do? You know you're worthy and deserve respect, kindness, and emotionally healthy love. You will not settle for less. You choose your partners and friends who only treat you well, and you kindly move on from those who do not. Your challenges are there to help you grow and learn. They don't break you. And we always say there's no failure, only feedback. Like when I was growing my business, I tried lots of things. You know, I'm going to turn this off. I tried doing a podcast on Alexa, and that didn't really quite turn out. It's like, that's okay. I figured it out. It's one of the first coaches to have an app on my phone. I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of expensive and I'm not getting the return I want, but that was cool. I was one of the first four coaches in the world to have a coaching app, and I just killed it a few years later. So we know not everything's going to work, and that's okay. It's a learning cycle, but it's just feedback for me. Challenge equals opportunity. And now is the time to create the life I desire and have the love I deserve. And that's the mindset that we have. So I want you to write on your papers, and you can put it in the chat too if you'd like. How can you practice living in the light and train your mindset? Which of the three will you start saying to yourself today? of those, or which of the, how many did I put down? 6 examples, or what example that you want to put down for your own self. Let's say you've been a little hard on yourself about losing weight, for example. Oh, I shouldn't eat this. You're consumed with you want to lose weight. You can write down, I am beautiful and healthy as I am. I thank God for my health, and I will lose weight when I want to, and I am ready. Easy, calm, done. So, what have you been struggling with or telling yourself negative in your head or that what's on the dark side that you can start saying to yourself today? Write that down for yourself. And if you want to share some in your chat, you can. And then after that, come up with 3 new sayings to cap and correct your negative thoughts. So, let me tell you this mindset tool, how this works. We know the dark side is on the left, then the right side is living in the light. Now, in the yin yang symbol, again, the dark side is the dark paisley with the white dot. Living in the light is a white paisley with the dark dot. The dark dot means challenges are supposed to come. In Buddhism, we call this the earth school that we're living in. We're here to learn many lessons. So a dark dot is a lesson, and you just say, what can I do to solve that challenge? Okay, but that's living in the light. And the dark side, the white dot, represents at any time you can go through that tunnel and come out into the light. So we cap and correct. If a dark thought comes up, like, hmm, I have to think of something because I have very few dark thoughts. Um, I can't build this avatar. It's really high-end AI tech and it's hard, and I'm not a techie. That's a dark thought. I can cap it with one step at a time. I'm going to learn this because I think it would be the coolest thing ever to help people around the world. And I've been dreaming on this for 2 years. I know I can get it done. And it's done. Okay. And I finished it within 1 month. That's pretty good. So, just cap and correct. Whenever you have those negative thoughts, cap and correct. Build yourself up. Give yourself that confidence. And it is constant, it goes on all day long. Changing your mindset is not an easy thing. This is why my clients work with me 4 to 6 months to heal the trauma and rebuild their mindset and get their goals and dreams or they're longing for, right? So it is a process. But when you get it, you don't even go into the dark side. You wouldn't even think of it. You're always just living in the light, which is really fun. So here's 5 steps that you can start with to start changing your mindset. First of all, conscious awareness. Notice your thoughts. So one of my clients said, Rihanna, so I have to think about what I'm thinking about. Yes, that's what you have to do. It kind of drives you crazy initially because you realize how many times you're saying negative things in your own head. So as soon as you get them, you have to cap and correct them. When you're triggered, that's a different exercise, which I will go into in another frame. But you have to notice your triggers. That means when you're getting emotionally upset and the patterns that you're doing over and over again. So that could be self-sabotaging your diet. That could be the pattern of choosing unhealthy love partners, whatever patterns that you want to change. Education. You need to learn how trauma can be healed and all the mindset strategies with a coach that can teach you these things. Education and knowledge is power. Reframing means you replace the fear-based thoughts with empowered, truthful ones or ones you want to come true. So somebody says, so can I lie about what I want? Well, yes, like I can lie and say, I'm going to get that avatar done because it wasn't done yet. That was kind of a little lie, but it's also a belief system that I will get it done. So I wanted it to come true and it's done. So it's okay to put that out as a wish versus a lie. Let's call it a wish. I like that better. What do you wish to come true? And yes, you replace the fears with the wishful positive thought that you want to happen. Now, your daily habits are really important. I wake up each day with 3 goals in my mind. Some people say they want to write them down. When you do this work for years, you just Okay, what three things do I want to get done today? And if I have time, what other two things do I want to get done? Um, and we use journaling and affirmations in our head, daily meditation, and other routines that would support your goals. Then at the end of the day, as you're heading back to bed, what three things am I proud of that I did today? Well, I did finish the three goals and I was able to get that done too, which was amazing. So you're giving yourself, kudos for your accomplishments. Okay. Support and accountability. Work with an experienced trauma certified CCTP level 2 advanced coach, not someone that just says, I'm going to be a coach because I had trauma. Well, 100% of us have childhood trauma. So you want someone that's really educated, that knows what they're doing, because healing trauma is a mental health issue. So people that work with me have the benefit that I have experience as a licensed mental health counselor and the experience of coaching and mindset work. It's like triple but bonus, right? So make the investment in someone you know is really good at what they do. I have hired 15 coaches in my life to grow my business. I wanted to be internationally known for trauma healing because I felt it was so important for people to know this subject when I started talking about it in 2015, and I was called crazy. It doesn't exist. You're making it up. It's not the DSM-4. I heard all these things coming at me. I said, watch me. You'll see. This is real. I have the science to prove it. And I just kept going. There will be people that doubt you along the way, but that doesn't stop you, right? When you have the mindset for success, you keep going. You believe in yourself. And, now it's like everybody's heard of childhood trauma, but that was a word nobody had heard about years and years ago. So just keep going. But if you want something in your life, hire a good coach. I had a podcast coach, my business coach I hired on for a year at $85,000. People like, Rihanna, you could have bought two cars. I'm like, I don't need two cars. I need to get the message to the world to help heal the world. That's what I want. And I will make more than that money back. And I was sitting there, Lisa Sachovich, before I hired her, and she had a success panel up there, people who were extraordinary under her coaching. And I said, I'm going to be up there in 6 months. And I hired Lisa, and within 6 months, I was up on that success panel. I think it was because I had over 200 podcast interviews within 6 months, and my business was just flourishing. But what we see, what we feel is going to happen, we make it happen. That's mindset work. That's why it's so amazing. Okay, here's some other tools I really wanted to go over with you today. I have to keep an eye on the time because I want you to have your questions and answers. I want to answer the questions that you have. Okay, there's four tools. Here's four simple ones that you guys can start out with. There's many, many others. One is called reparenting yourself. So you speak kindly to your inner child, that wounded child, as a parent you always wanted to have. That parent's voice is loving, kind, calm, supportive, and proud of you. So when you do something good, say, hey, that was great. Congratulations. Now, this little inner dialogue, nobody needs to know you're doing it, but you know you're doing it. You're getting the compliments you may not have gotten as a child. And that was one thing I did not get compliments as a child. So that's one thing I have to do. And the voice is kind and calm and supportive and believes in you. So that reparenting is important. Rewriting your story. You have to understand how trauma may have impacted your parents and rewrite the story of why they treated you as they did due to their own traumas and norms that they were taught. See, childhood trauma goes through at least three generations because we had it, so did your parents, and so did their parents. Then, once you understand it, which we do together, we help you process that and redo the story for you. Then you have to do the forgiveness work that's needed to stop the rumination in your mind on what happened to you and the anger and the blame that you want to give to your mom or dad. You rewrite the story of, wow, she went through that. And because of that, this is how she raised me. I can understand that. Let me give you an example because I think it'll be helpful. I'm four out of five kids, And my mom could never say the words, I love you, to any of the kids. We didn't get hugs, we didn't get kisses. She was a tough German lady, wanted us to succeed in life, which, guess what? That happened, Mom. Very good, but I would have loved that soft side too, right? Um, so I was the first of her children to be pregnant with her grandchild. And asked her, Mom, how come you never told us kids you loved us? And she goes, Well, you know that I did. I said, Of course you did, Mom. You did a ton of things for us five kids. And my dad was rarely home. This was one of my traumas. It's a no fault abandonment trauma. I talk more about that in part one. So you want to make sure you hear part one's tape about the 10 traumas and how they could show up in your life. But my dad, we did not know. He was FBI, CIA, like James Bond. Okay. But he was gone a lot and nobody knew where he was. And he just would show back up. So that's like a no fault abandonment because that's how he supported our family. So, anyway, she had five kids to raise and do all this stuff for on her own. So she was kind of an angry, bitter woman, and she didn't show us a lot of love. So I asked her why she couldn't say the words, and I said, "Well, it's important that you tell your kids that too. It's good to hear the words." She goes, "Well, those aren't words I ever heard." I said, "You mean Grandma never told you?" She goes, "No, I grew up in the Great Depression. If we had food on the table, that was love." Now I got it. I understood it. She didn't have that from her mother or father. And I had then had compassion. I'm like, Mom, I'm really sorry you never heard those words. And it was so hard for you back then. So I'm going to start telling you those words that I love you so that you get them and you hear them and you become comfortable with them. So maybe one day you can tell your grandchild that you love them. And it changed her whole life. And this is what my clients do once we understand childhood trauma and it wasn't intentional. It was what they knew how to raise us best, but they had trauma wounds too. So then we can come back with compassion and work with our parents. And that's what my clients do. And it heals the whole family. Or they work with an angry sibling, because they say, Hey, I understand why you're angry, man. This happened to you when you were growing up, and it didn't happen to me. I was the golden child. I feel really bad that you got, the wrath of dad and I didn't, or whatever the story is. So rewriting the story and understanding the story heals the entire family. It's really amazing work when we do it together. Okay, capping and correcting, you learn that, catching any fear-based thoughts, and then somatic identification, where you are listening to where you have pain in the body. So it could be headaches all the time, or stomach aches, or heart palpitations from a scenario that will trigger you from your past. Why were you triggered? We have to figure out why that's coming into your body now. And then when you do your meditation routine that I teach my clients and the breath work and the other tools to calm your anxiety. So it's all interrelated. These are a couple of my client testimonials. Ola was an 18-year-old Russian immigrant, came over with $200 in her pocket, quickly got married, was in a very abusive relationship, had a little boy who was starting to abuse her as well. That's when she came to me. And I helped her get out of that toxic marriage, find her new husband, and they got married, had a big, beautiful home on the ocean, and they had a little girl together and raised their son as well, her son. She said, Rihanna helped me to get out of victim mode, to be able to see the positive comes out of all negative. She helped me to believe in a higher spirit again, inspired me to be my true best self. I regained my focus on my career and I started dating again. I've always carried Rihanna close to my heart, and always I know she will not stop supporting us. So she's been happily married for several years now. And to the right is Sandra. She writes, being in Rihanna's Life and Love Transformation group coaching program for singles has helped me dive very deeply into my childhood trauma. It's helped my heart to heal as I found words for my mind to express the pain and abandonment and neglect. I have learned to say yes to myself, accept and love myself for who I am. As I continue to heal, Rihanna's helped me to cap over negative thoughts and words and reparent myself to get my ex out of my head. I'm having more fun as I release the past and its weight of me keeping me from enjoying my life. So again, another toxic marriage, and she had to face this ex at their son's wedding, and she showed up gorgeous, radiant, beautiful, and she goes, I felt so good. She goes, he didn't bother me whatsoever. So she was very mentally and physically prepared in all ways. And she wanted to move from her country home into the city where she would have a more vibrant single life. So she went through a lot of great transformations. So, how can you get more help if you would like to? Reread your notes you took today. Take 1 to 2 mindset shifts to practice this week. And remember, practice every day. Download and make sure you read your Mindset for Success ebook that you're going to get the link on right here. It's really chock full of great information that will build on what you learned today. And here's other coaching avenues and tools with me. Lovecoachonline.com is Rihanna AI, and I'm going to show you an example of that. And I sell various memberships there. You can have a text membership, text chatbot, or the video chat, which is really cool how that works. I'm still amazed at it myself. That's the one that's cutting edge. It's brand new in the market globally. You can do a deep dive transformation discovery session where you work with me for 2 hours on healing your childhood trauma, understanding it, and then setting up the blueprint for the journey that you want for your life. And that's at my other website, riannamilne.com/session. And at Rihanna Milne, you can learn about the coaching programs, books, podcasts, many other resources. If somebody's going through one particular problem and you just want to work with me for 1 to 3 sessions, that's called laser coaching. And you can find that at riannamilne.com as well. Then my podcast is free for you all, and that's lessonsinlifeandlove.com. So my question to you all is, what action will you take in the next 24 hours to support your new mindset and get living in the light with the rest of us? Because you're going to love it there. So I'll tell you a little bit about lovecoachonline.com, Rihanna AI. It's interactive, which means you talk to it and it talks back. You tell it your name and it will remember your name. You tell it your problem, it will speak directly to your problem. So it's personalized, and it's a video chat coaching avatar trained in all my lessons. For 2 years, I have been teaching an AI platform, all my stuff, my books, my podcasts, my webinars, all my information. So when it talks back, it's like me answering you. And that's why I said I'm so amazed that this is so cool. So people can get support at 2 a.m. when I'm not available, or talk French when I can't fluently speak French. The text bot is you type your question, it's still personalized, and its words are come back at you. So it's a texting bot. Again, it's trained on decades of counseling and coaching expertise. My system, available anytime and anywhere in the world. Can ask any kinds of questions as long as they're legit questions. I don't talk politics or religion. I will talk spirituality, yes. Tips for success in dating or rekindling your relationships, healing from trauma and heartbreak, learn more about mindset for success, increase your confidence, self-love, boundaries, clarify your purpose, your life goals, job strategies, financial goals, any personal transformation topic. And when you try Rihanna AI, the text bot is real easy to try for free. And the avatar is a little bit more pricey. So there's a $5 offer to try it for 3 days. And it's really, really amazing. And you get a free ebook, Have the Love You Deserve, just for trying it out for free. So let's see if this plays. This is a demo on how the chatbot works.
Hi, live coach Riana Milne. I'm going to demonstrate how easy it is to use the live support avatar that's interactive with you. You can talk into the avatar and it simply gives you an answer. It's that easy. The thing I love about it most is that it speaks in multiple languages, even when I can't. If you have a question for somebody who speaks a different language, go ahead and ask it. I will demonstrate how that works. So it's very exciting that I can help people around the world with these new features. And I hope that you enjoy them and keep coming back to get support when you need it most. As always, if you have any questions, reach out to me and I will answer you privately from rianamilm@gmail.com. Ready? Here we go. Just push the chat now button. See, it's connecting. It's a short introduction. Hi, I'm Riana AI, your personal 24/7 life and love transformation interactive coaching avatar. I'd help you create the life you desire and have the love you deserve. Whether you're single and looking for love, struggling in your relationship, or ready to heal from your past, I am here to guide you with care, compassion, and strategies that work. Let's begin. Please ask your questions in any language, and I will answer for you. Hi, Rihanna. My name is Jill. I'm a mother of 2 kids, and I'm struggling with my boyfriend. I just feel overwhelmed and I feel I need some support. Wow, Jill, that sounds like a lot to juggle. It's totally okay to feel overwhelmed. What specific support do you think would help you right now? I don't know. How can I help feel calmer or ease my anxiety? And how can I learn better communication skills with my boyfriend? Let's tackle this. For calming anxiety, try deep breathing or short meditation. As for communication, practice active listening and expressing your feelings clearly. Want tips on specific scenarios? Sure, if you could give me one, that would be great. All right, when you talk to your boyfriend, use I statements. For example, say, I feel overwhelmed instead of you make me feel. This helps express your feelings without sounding accusatory. How does that sound? That sounds like a good one to practice. What's the second one? Another great technique is to ask open-ended questions. This encourages deeper conversation. For example, ask, how do you feel about our communication? It invites him to share his thoughts. Want to try it out? Sure, how do we try it out? You could start a conversation by saying, hey, I've been thinking about how we communicate. How do you feel about it? This opens the door for a meaningful chat. Ready to give it a shot? So I might ask, I see we've been struggling lately, and I'd like to get closer with you. How can we take some steps to talk kinder with each other? That's perfect. It shows you care and want to improve things. Just keep the tone gentle and open. How do you think he might respond to that? I think he'd be willing to listen and maybe give it a try. If I can bring him to talk to you too, and we get more tips, I think that might be a great idea. Absolutely. Having him join the conversation could be super helpful. I can provide tips for both of you. Would you like to set up a time for that? Yes, but first, my mom is Spanish and she's been worried about me. Can you give her 2 tips as my mother in Spanish so she can not feel so worried? Here are 2 tips for your mom. 1. Practica la respiración profunda. Esto ayuda a calmar la mente y reducir la ansiedad. Inhala profundamente por la nariz y exhala lentamente por la boca. 2. Escucha a tu hijo. Pregúntale cómo se siente y ofrécele tu apoyo. A veces solo necesitas saber que estás ahí para ella. ¿Te gustaría que le diga algo más? That sounds awesome. How do I make an appointment with you if I want to meet with you live? You can book a live session with Coach Rihanna by visiting riannamilne.com/session. Just choose a time that works for you. Need help with anything else? No, I guess that's it. Thank you for your help today.
So it's really fun. Like I still get amazed when it talks in different languages when I ask it to. It's really a fun thing to have, and I'm really excited to start promoting it. So I'm soon going to turn over to the other side where I can see you all, but I want to thank you for staying to the end. You will get this amazing book, The Mindset for Success, Personal Transformation in Today's World, and you'll get that after our Q&A session. And make sure you visit lovecoachonline.com and riannamilne.com for more free gifts and resources. So here's the links for you to grab. Let me leave that up for a second, and so you can copy them down. This is how you get your ebook. And the TechSpot trial, you just go straight to the website, lovecoachonline.com, and it'll say, try the TechSpot for free. And then it will ask you for your email so that you can get the free ebook of Have the Love You Deserve. And then if you want to try the avatar like I just showed you, that's the $5 only for 3 days you can use it. So if you're struggling with a problem or want some advice, keep coming back for 3 days and continue the conversation. And you get the free ebook with the avatar or bot trial. And of course, my podcast is lessonsinlifeandlove.com. And my email, as you saw, I only handle my email. I do not let anyone else read my email for confidentiality reasons. And I may be internationally known, but I'm small town service. And I always have been. I've always been very proud of that level of service for my clients. So if you need me, just reach out to me by my email and put something in the subject. So if I don't recognize a name, it's like Rihanna, will you answer this question for me? Or I have a question from the webinar, just so I know it's not like someone I don't know. But feel free that you can write me at any time. Okay. Give you a second to write those down. And then, Amy, if you want to turn on your mic and get any questions out of the chat while I leave this slide up for everybody, that would be great.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for that, Rihanna. We're going to for our cute live Q&A, we always turn off the cameras, the recording, so that you guys, it's as Rihanna spoke about, it will not be played for other people. So it'll be private. Any questions you have, you want to bring to her, we are happy to answer them. She is happy to answer them. Are we done with this slide, and can we bring us all forward?
There we go. I can be seen here and still keep that up. So that works
Okay.
because I don't have to advance any more slides.
Okay,
So
yeah.
we got through the tech. Yay.
Yeah. So I know Arthur had a question about rewriting the story, right? Art, you want to go ahead and
Hi,
unmute?
Art.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Um, uh, Childhood trauma, my question was, my mom's deceased, but I can still work with her, right?
Yes, you can still, we would rewrite the story around what occurred in your childhood. And Art, were you able to listen to part one of the tape yet?
No,
Okay.
but
That might come out with the replay from Amy again. Part one goes into the top 10 childhood traumas, and we first have to recognize which ones you might have gone through, and how then part two is how's it showing up in your adult life, and then I know how to rewrite the story with you and for you because I have to gather some information first. And that's what the discovery session is. It's 2 hours of working with you. There's like 5 easy assessments, like check marks, yes, no, real easy, easy to understand. Um, and then I read the sheets before we meet. And then I ask certain questions and I get deeper into the scenario of what you have gone through. So then at that point, I can help you to rewrite the story.
this sounds good. I kind of know who I am. I kind of know what my trauma is. Can I tell you?
If you'd like.
Okay, I think I have something called disorganized attachment, and